Hello, beautiful people. It's Lulu. I'm going to let you know right from the start. I'm not doing great. My mental health isn't in a good place right now, and I'm going through a tough time. And I don't have the energy to go into all the details of what's happening or why. But here's what I realized this morning as I sat down to record this episode. The episode I had planned to talk about when your tools stop working is exactly the episode I need to hear myself. Sometimes life does that. Sometimes the thing you're meant to share is the thing you most need to receive. So today, this episode is for us. And maybe, just maybe, that makes it even more human, even more real. Welcome to the Lulu Essey podcast. No editing, no studio magic, no polish. Just honest conversations about mental fitness, self-love, and embracing that transformation is an inside job. These conversations stay exactly as they happen, because real life does not come with a backspace button. This is going to be a shorter episode, not because the topic isn't important, but sometimes the most powerful thing we can offer to ourselves and to each other is simplicity, just truth, just presence. And before we go any further, please share this episode. Text it to people who might need permission to rest, because that's exactly what this is really about today. Permission. Specifically permission to rest, to take a pause. Let's talk about what happens when all your tools stop working. You know those mental fitness practices you've built? The ones that usually help? Ones like the morning routine, the journaling, the breathing exercises, the gratitude practices, the tiny promises to yourself. What happens when you wake up one day and none of it feels accessible? When even the smallest practice feels like climbing a mountain you just don't have the energy to climb? Here's what we're usually told. Just push through. Just do it anyway. Discipline over motivation. And you know what? Sometimes that works so well. Sometimes showing up even when you don't feel like it is exactly what you need. Most often, it is exactly what you need. But here's what we're not really talking about. Sometimes the most radical act of mental fitness is stopping. Just stopping. Not quitting, not giving up. Just pausing. We live in a culture that tells us rest has to be earned, that we should always be fixing, improving, growing, optimizing, outperforming, reaching, striving. There's always another podcast to listen to, another course to take, another level to reach. We've turned personal growth into a competitive sport, and we're exhausted. We are obsessed with productivity. Full disclosure, I have been obsessed with productivity too. But what if, and I'm asking this as much for myself as for you, what if the work right now is to stop? What if lying on the sofa, binging television, doing absolutely nothing productive is exactly what mental fitness looks like today? And I do want to acknowledge that there are many people out there, parents, caregivers, and many more, who cannot just stop. And for all of those people, I hold you in love and ask you to consider if there is a way to find a few minutes just to pause. If just a few minutes is all that is available to you, then that is enough. I know that goes against everything we taught. It feels lazy, irresponsible, like we're letting ourselves down. Let's consider for a moment the wise saying, you cannot pour from an empty cup. And right now, some of our cups aren't just empty, they're bone dry, cracked in pieces on the floor. So here's what I'm giving you today. Permission. Permission to rest without guilt. Permission to let the dishes sit in the sink. Permission to order takeout instead of cooking. Permission to cancel plans. Permission to do the bare minimum and call it enough, because it is enough. We are enough right here, right now, in this moment where we're struggling. There's this idea that we always have to be in control, that we should have the answers, that we should be able to manage our mental health, like it's a project with clear steps and measurable outcomes. But mental health, mental fitness, doesn't work like that. It's messy. It's complicated. It has seasons. And sometimes we're just in a hard season. And the most loving thing we can do for ourselves is acknowledge that and rest. Stop. Pause. Not try to fix it, not analyze why, not beat ourselves up for not being better at this by now. Just rest. Give your mind a break. Give your body a break. Give your spirit a break from trying to figure everything out. You don't have to have all the answers. You never did. You just have to keep breathing. Keep showing up for yourself with whatever capacity you have today. And if that capacity is lying on the sofa, watching mindless TV, then that's what it is. There's no shame in that. There's only being human. And I will be the first to admit that I'm guilty here. I struggle to pause, to rest, to just be and do nothing productive. I really do struggle with it, especially since I now have my own business and can no longer rely on a salary from a full-time job. So I'm absolutely a messy, flawed work in progress when it comes to resting, to pausing. And here's what I'm still learning. Mental fitness isn't about always feeling good. It's not about never struggling. It's not about having your life together all the time. Mental fitness is about knowing when to push and when to rest. It's about expanding, not shrinking. And expanding can look like pausing, which seems so counterintuitive. It's about recognizing when your mental fitness is going into the red. And instead of waiting until you're completely depleted, you give yourself permission to stop, to pause, to just be. It's about treating yourself with kindness, with compassion, and love. And I invite you to think about that for a moment. If someone you loved came to you and said, I feel like I'm struggling. I don't have any energy. Nothing feels okay right now. What would you say to them? You wouldn't tell them to push harder. You wouldn't list all the things they should be doing. Oh, and my favorite, all the things they have to be grateful for. You'd probably say, I'm sorry, that sucks and sounds really hard. What do you need? How can I help? It's okay to rest. So why do we find it so hard to say that to ourselves? Today I'm saying it to myself, and I'm saying it to you. It's okay to rest. It's okay to feel like a hot mess. It's okay to be exactly where you are, even if where you are feels impossibly hard. Beautiful people, this episode is shorter than usual, but I think that's fitting because sometimes less is more. Sometimes all we need is permission. Permission to be human, permission to acknowledge our current struggle, permission to rest without making it mean something's wrong with us. You can watch this episode on my YouTube channel, where you'll find little shorts with tiny moments of insight. And please, share this episode with people who might need to hear this message. And if you feel moved to, leave me a review or a rating. I'd be so grateful. What comes from the heart reaches the heart. And today, this comes with exhaustion and honesty and a deep hope that wherever you are, you'll give yourself the grace to just be. You don't have to fix anything today. You just have to be here. Be present. That's enough. Until next week, and yes, I will be here next week. This comes straight from my heart to yours.